I was a childhood bully, or at least a very mean kid, and the regret is eating me alive. I, 18F, am about to go to college for engineering, and since I'm leaving my hometown and stuff I've been sort of in nostalgia mode, except it hasn't been good and I'm starting to wonder if I'm a horrible person. While I don't know if I could completely be considered a bully since I never really targeted one person, I was a mean child. I've always been smart and conventionally attractive and popular and athletic and good at everything, for as long as I could possibly remember. And the adults in my life always reinforced this, except my parents, so I also had an extremely overinflated ego. First grade, I remember the girl in the seat next to me getting complimented on a story, so I wrote one that was 3 times longer just to make sure nobody mentioned her as the best writer again. There was this kid who was faster than me on those stupid minute math tests, and I remember getting so mad that I practiced every day and never lost again, and I made him cry every time he'd get second. A girl got complimented for her art while I didn't, and I forced my parents to take me to library to get those art books, just to go up to her 2 weeks later and redraw the same thing she did, but better. Nobody ever went to her as the art girl again, and I'm sure I did more, but it was over 10 years ago. Second grade, we had to time each other's reading and I deliberately made this one girl's time slower because I didn't like her for some reason. The same girl would ask to play Lava Monster with my group every fucking day, and I made her stand on the sidelines and watch. I didn't let her leave. I just kept saying she'd play the next round, and every time, she'd believe it and stand there like an idiot. Later, we became good friends, but I always held it over her head by reminding her about the Lava Monster thing by joking about it, but now I look back and it was like I was subconsciously letting her know she begged to be friends with me. 3D grade, I sat next to this kid who was special ed. We used to do a lot of group work, and he was slower. I basically ignored him and did everything myself, and he eventually moved seats, and I never knew why until at the parent-teacher conference my teacher said that I made him feel useless and stupid. There was this huge music production we were forced to do, and I was the best singer and orator, so I was forced to do a bunch of solos and speeches and practice extra during recess. I was bitter that I was forced to sing for the performance instead of play on the playground, so I kept glaring at everyone and the teacher enough that he let me go play on the playground. 4th grade, this kid dropped and broke my brand new glass water bottle my dad gave me. I got mad at him and scared him so bad that he never went near my desk or interacted with any of my friends. I was the fastest girl in my grade, but this other girl started catching up, and for some reason I couldn't handle it, so I ran for a half hour every day after school, just to get a lot faster and prove that I was better than her. I never said anything, but I trained for a horrible reason. I didn't really care about running. 5th grade, there was this boy who was also special ed, and a lot of boys would actively harass him. I know I was friends with a few of them, and I completely ignored what they did and the special ed boy. My parents forced me to do the 6 a.m. math Olympiad thing they do, and this one girl was better than me and worked harder, so I started making fun of her for trying. Everyone made fun of her with me, and then one day when she straight up told me I was jealous, which I was, I straight up ghosted her. Never spoke to her for years, even when we were the only 2 people there. 6th grade, this girl who was my best friend copied this massive end-of-the-year essay report word for word off of me, and she wouldn't admit it, even though there was edit history that it was identical. There was a month left of school, but because she copied and didn't apologize, I got our entire friend group to actively exclude her, and we were popular so she never made another friend again until she moved to a different city 2 years later. In middle school and high school, I wasn't as bad. I was still cocky, and I still liked being better than everyone, but I had a lot of problems at home and outside of school, so I ended up fighting with my parents a lot, and I was too tired to be a jerk at school, I guess. I know I have a lot of insecurities and generational trauma from an immigrant family and pressure to be perfect and stuff, and that's where a lot of the awful behavior stems from. I also know that my problems are my own and that I acted like a prick for pretty much the first 16 years of my life, and there's probably more I just don't remember. I'm still awful, but I bottle it up. I got into a very fancy university, but it was off the wait list and I got rejected at my dream school that my friend got into, and I ended up secretly resenting her for a while. I still hate it when people are better than me. I'm still mad that I only got D2 offers for the sport I played, and my parents thought those universities weren't good enough, so I had to get in the normal way and don't get the prestige of saying I'm a NCAA athlete, and I hate when others I know post about their athletic scholarships. I can't stand it that my mom likes my friend's art more than mine, when every other person I've asked likes mine more. She's my own mother. I hate that some people are allowed to be stupid. I'm still awful, just only in my head, which is a lot better than being awful to others. I guess this post is just like a confession, because I've never been able to admit my guilt or how awful I feel. I'm not sure if I can even apologize for some of the stuff, like the vague passive aggressiveness or hostile aura. I never got in trouble. Nothing ever happened to me. But I know I was a really mean kid to the people I decided I didn't like, and now that I'm leaving and reminiscing, I just keep thinking about how the kids I was awful to might also be reminiscing, and I keep wondering if I'm in those memories, and what they think of me and if I really made a negative impact or if I was a passing annoyance. I don't know. I'm freaking out. I'm really, really sorry, but I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get over this. I don't know how to accept the fact that I was awful and move on. I wish I wasn't hit by this wave of nostalgia, because it's eating me alive. I just want to go to college and start over.